Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode. I'm just going to say sorry there was not an episode last week because I have not been well, so I had to have some time off. Although we did actually set up, didn't we?
We set up and we actually even tried to record. It wasn't Srit's fault, though. She wasn't well, but she tried, and it was me who wasn't feeling it at the time when we were filming. We tried a few attempts, and then
I was actually okay that day as well.
Yeah,
I was okay.
But I just felt like it wasn't going in the way that
everything was just going wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the sound wasn't recording right, then something else was going wrong, and then when we started, then we were restarting, and then I went, you know what, this is just not working, and I don't want a podcast that we're talking about stuff just for the sake of, because I think the energy levels were down, and I think that's one thing people probably can relate to. Like, even when you're doing stuff at work, you don't always have that good.
I think because it's just us two as well. If we had a team of people as well, like they lift each other up, and or it's all right. I've got this. It's like you do all the setup, and I just come here and sit here and look pretty.
It is like that.
It is because I tried to help him, but he won't allow me to touch the equipment.
No, I don't even mind that. I don't mind setting up. Even now, I don't mind setting everything up and get ready to go. And when we're going, we go straight or start. Right? Yeah. You basically said, so I'm being open on straight. Then I'll start looking at Instagram or TikToks, and you're like things that are just like, oh God, look, I'm trying to. It's like, when you're working and you're trying to get things sorted, and I need to focus the camera or make sure the sound is right, make sure the lighting is right, because this isn't our usual setup. That's when she'll look down and she'll be like, oh, so she's done her work. She does whatever she's got to do.
I haven't actually done any work.
Or whatever she's doing during that time when she's getting ready. But I set everything up, and I've got to, those finer points you just got to sort out. And that's when she's like, and it's like, you're distracting me. Yeah, I'm not,
I'm working, I'm looking for content, and I'm finding things.
It's not content she's looking for.
Okay, it was whatever it was I was watching. It was funny. She really lifts me up.
There you go.
That's so for me, it's like she's a boost of energy, and you never know what you come across when you're on there. You could speak about.
It's not the point. You could do it in your own time. How I see it is, and this is the thing, working with your couples, guys. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone out there is working with their, couples working together.
Oh, no.
And, but it doesn't, we've been doing it now for 5 years, but at times it can be very annoying.
It can be. On both sides.
I didn't say it wouldn't. I'm just saying it can be.
Yeah. When someone does not let you touch your equipment, you've got to do something. He expects me to sit here, look straight at the camera for ages.
She only gets called down soon as we're going to get ready, and it's just more or less focus the camera and get the lighting right. That's it. And that's when she'll be like, can you look up? Can you? Like, oh my God, you know what? That's all you have. All I need is 5 minutes and we could get going. That's when she'll start doing all this stuff, and you're like going, well, what am I doing? I'm working with amateurs.
That's awful. How dare you?
Yeah. Anyway.
What?
The other thing. let's go past that. Anyway, the other thing is, Sri hasn't been well for 2 weeks. And not only that, so many, I'm sure people, even the ones that don't work together, I'm sure that they can relate that, when a partner or someone that you rely or depend on or you have to work with, or if you've got a business and you got people who don't turn up, and then you've got to do things yourself or you have to readjust, it's not bloody easy. And February, I thought January went so bad. So I don't know what everyone's February update is.
Everyone was waiting for January to be over. All I saw on TikTok, January, it's that month, it's you need the hero there. Everyone's like hyped about Christmas, and then January comes, either they're on some kind of diet or something. They just want January to be over. For us, it was okay.
January went so bad,
Yeah, and so that's it. February hit, and it's just one thing after the other.
It was plans, every preparation, February ready to go, and that was it.
But I did want January
for 2 weeks.
I did want January to be over as well, though, myself.
No,
I was like,
I'm not saying you wasn't.
But it was better than February, I must admit. But yeah, it's just unwell. And I think a bit of it is stress, because there's a lot of. It started off with, I feel like stress, just taking too much.
Stress. It started off with, I feel like stress.
Yeah, I was taken. I don't know. I'm putting too much pressure on myself or stuff, and I feel I get triggered that way as well. We all do. You start getting one symptom after the other, and it just got really bad. Where it's been 2 weeks, and even 2
weeks.
Even now, I've been off and on, haven't I? Even yesterday.
You've been off.
Yeah.
You haven't been on, off and on. You've been off.
I've still been trying to work.
Anyway, you guys know, we've got other channels that we've been working on, but we're making some adjustments to that as well. So with those adjustments, which obviously for me, I have to get out of my comfort zone. But during these 2 weeks, whilst Sri has been, I don't know if there's men or women who can relate. Like, you do realize how much it impacts you not having the other person there. It could be, I'm not just saying like work-wise.
So we're not just going to have a dig into Sri. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Today.
We will have that as well. But I don't think it's just, when the other person isn't there for like, say, 2 weeks, like you've been ill, which you didn't choose to be ill, but like you said, it could be stress related, but you was in bed for like more or less 2 weeks and every time you was in discomfort. But the impact, not only when you're working together, the impact that it had on work that I had to do by myself, but at the same time, there were so many things going on in our home. We had so many people, engineers and people working. God, yeah. We had things to do with the car sorting out, and so that was happening.
It kind of all comes at once, doesn't it?
And then, our son had various appointments to go to as well. So with that, and then obviously having to cook and everything, when you've got all that, and I was going to say, what else? On top of that, the main thing, not having any, because Sri was having her, in the other room, basically not feeling well, and you're not there. You're not having someone to talk to or relate to or anything else. You're more or less just doing everything yourself for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It can also have a very stressful impact on yourself.
Yeah, you were. I used to say to him, can you please just leave the room? So I've been in the spare room and just, honestly, I think it's been about a week and a half. I've only just come back into our room.
It will be 2 weeks tomorrow.
Oh, you actually got the date?
Yes.
Date, how
so more or less all of February, Sri was raring to go for the 1st of February, and it just went on the 1st of February.
Yeah.
And she just could not. And like I said, partly stress related, partly was, she was in aches and pains, and she basically wasn't well. She couldn't move around. And so when you're like that, and all of a sudden now it wasn't like we expected that to happen or we were ready for it or prepared.
We had plans to do things and stuff, and it just happened overnight. And that's it. I've been in the spare room for 2 weeks, and every time he came in, I'm in a lot of pain, and he could see that, and I don't like it because I feel like it pushes you back as well, because you see me in pain and I can see how your face is, and that upsets me because I'm like, I'd rather you not come in the room.
And then I'm coming in and I'm going, are you okay? Is there anything that I can do? And it's like, no, there's nothing you could do. And you just look at her and going, and you can see that she's upset, and then at the same time you just feel sort of like lost. You're like going, I can't do nothing. And when you normally would try to, there's nothing to do with medicine, nothing to do with anything else. There's nothing you can change. But at the same time, I've got all this work to do. But my mind is there, but my mind is also on everything else that needs doing.
Yeah.
So it's really tricky, and I'm sure people can relate. I'm not just saying men, but women as well.
Yeah. So it's a lot for
single parents out there who have to look after.
Yeah, because when you had to take our son to the dentist or the doctors or wherever, it was not. Those are the kind of jobs I do, and obviously
I was cooking.
And to me, honestly, I thought to myself, oh God, this would be so nice, living my best life, but being in a better conditions. Like not like
she was actually going, you know what, this was actually really good. I feel
how
like
have
I'm
I
being
not ever
looked
done?
after.
Yeah. Why have I never done this before? Not like I don't have to be ill to be treated and pampered the way I have been. Like the funniest thing was, I'm asking him, I'm like, can I have? I am hungry. What is there to eat? And he's like, I can make you Weetabix. I can make you Rice Krispies. And I was like, well, I know we're out of Rice Krispies. I don't want Weetabix. I can put like a coriander piece on it to make it look like gourmet. And I was like, are you joking me? Or the only other thing I can do is a jacket potato. And I was like, okay.
No, I actually made jacket potato.
Okay, let me talk about the jacket. I'm not going to dismiss what you have made. He made jacket potato, and a jacket potato is a jacket potato with cheese and beans. But it tastes like the best thing ever.
Told you.
And it's just, anyone can do it.
Not anyone can do it. Okay. And it's not like the way it came with love.
I think for me is because someone else has made it. I don't have to make it. I haven't put the effort into it.
I made a chicken curry with rice as well, which,
I did like, But I had to tell him what to add to it because it was very bland when you came up the first time. You do know that, right?
Yeah, but still, I still made it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I had to finish it
I
off.
felt like my potato was a lot better.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so I was like, women milk. There must be milk in this, or they just get that treatment because they've got a partner
I
who
knew
makes.
what you were going to say then. Women and milk. I was like,
Must milk it.
What subject
This
we're
just
going on
shows
now?
what kind of person I am. Like, I don't take advantage of anything. I should be like,
Why
here or
would
there
you need to
asking.
take advantage of your partner for?
Like, just sometimes
I
be
mean,
nice.
I'm sure in the bedroom, I understand, but otherwise, why would you want to take advantage of your partner?
Because sometimes it is nice for your partner to cook for you. And don't say I have everything else to do that I never have time to cook.
Guys,
Because there is times.
I
Okay, stop with all that. What you have or haven't got to do. But there is times in your life when you're sitting here and you can make time for football and watch it, like you're going to
Even
do
now,
now.
I'm gonna make time for football.
Exactly. So don't make excuses. This is what you do all the time.
Now, the difference is
No, but it is nice.
I get up at 5 o'clock to get all my work out the way so I can make the time to do the thing
That are important to
or whatever I want to watch or do. I get up early so I can get things out the way. You get up at 7:30.
That are important to
8
you.
o'clock. What was it today? 9 o'clock?
I went to bed late. I was sorting out
Which is
stuff.
fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying I could have got up at 9, but I go.
No, okay, it's
I
not
know
about
what
that.
I
You do
want to do.
which is important to you.
And no, it's, well, things that I want to enjoy or I do, like, I'm a Liverpool supporter, so I want to watch a game. So if I know I'm going to watch a game and I know I've got a podcast to do or I've got other videos for the other channels to do, I will get up 3 or 4 hours earlier, majority of the time, and I'll get those work out the way because I like thinking, okay, I need to make that time.
And you always make that time for football. And you get up early and do what you got to do.
Brings me happiness.
Yeah, for me, I'm always...
Unless they lose.
I'm always the one who's cooking in this house. So even if it's a jack of potato someone else has made it, to me, it tastes like heaven because it's not me who's making it. It's not because it's
Next
not me.
time I'll make
Just
you
feels
Weetabix. I'll tell you, it'll taste good.
like heaven. And there is women, what I was saying, milking it because they do, or either they just have a partner who can cook and they cook really nice food and they just like to cook and I know you don't like to cook.
I don't like to cook.
But
I can cook, but not great.
To me,
but I don't like to cook.
I'm like, why haven't I done this forever? Like, well, he should be cooking for me here. They don't ask all the time, once a month at least, or hey, we cook together sometimes, but it's me who's cooking, and I do get bored of it. Anyway, the other thing I was gonna say was, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Yeah, like even like for Valentine's Day. Now thinking about it, yeah, you brought me flowers, which is lovely,
and chocolates.
I'm not eating chocolate.
7 o'clock in the morning as well.
Yeah, but then what I can turn around and say again, what's important to you?
You was, so that's
so
why first thing in the
so
morning
when
I went
someone's
out there
important
to
to
get
you-
you chocolates and flowers.
when
So
someone's-
you woke up to a nice bouquet of roses and chocolates. Considering 26 years together, my first thought was get up in the morning, go and do that and bring it. So when she's waking up, she's got something to brighten up her day. And make her
which was
happy.
lovely.
And she went,
Lovely. I knew it was expected, but for me, it's like...
it was expected. I knew you was going to do it.
Yeah, because I
Happy
want...
Valentine's Day.
To me, it's like...
And that's it, it was done. I was like going, huh?
Yeah, because to me, it would have been nicer if you did say, you know what, I've sorted a meal, I've seen a recipe, I'm going to cook it for you. So that's like you've gone out your way.
That wasn't enough.
Because it's different.
Oh, good.
No, what I'm trying to say is, if you left the flowers, that's to me seeing that you actually care, that you're doing something that I would like.
Okay, can I just say this? On our anniversary last year, 25th
Maybe with the flowers
anniversary,
without the chocolates, which I'm not going to eat.
We went away, Egypt, on a holiday for our 25th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on top of that, for our wedding anniversary, because obviously it's a silver anniversary, that's what it is. I bought her, a nice necklace, ladybird silver necklace, because I thought, it's Egypt holiday, that's both of us. But this that she can have, and so I do think and go out the way.
I'm not saying you don't, but these kind of things, flowers.
But then I'm just saying, how come the
Okay,
men?
I think
okay,
what-
the
no, no,
point
Steve,
I'm trying to make
yeah.
is: do women do anything for their partners, like Valentine's Day or
You
anniversaries?
tell me, do I not do
I'm
anything?
just asking.
This is the first time I haven't.
I'm just asking.
And it's the only thing
What
that
did
men
you do?
apparently want.
Oh, okay.
So you
I'm
tell me,
saying.
yeah. So it's not either
just
you lot,
saying.
yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sure they do,
Okay.
but it's more like the man always wants to treat a woman, and yes, what?
Wants to or has to?
Just exactly. So you're just
What's
doing it because
the
you have
last
to, because
do?
you feel bad.
Huh?
Is it because they'll feel bad? Oh, because their next neighbour's done it and she's going to find out, and I've got to
I
do it as
don't know
well.
what my next door neighbours do or
Or
what other people are
friends
doing.
or
I
whatever.
don't really
No,
even care.
what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you do stuff, but over being ill, it's weird. It's taken me to be ill to realise, like, oh, it would be nice if you just made me something to eat for Valentine's Day. Something he knows that I always go on about that, and I'm always cooking, and he loves my food. But like, it'd be nice for me to.
I got you KFC.
Even that. How much did I eat of it? Twice in a week now. Like last week.
She's
the week
not
before.
even eating.
I can't eat.
So I don't get it. Like, you know, how can you turn around and go, make me a nice
It's
meal?
always a time when we have a
you're
takeout.
not eating
Okay.
though.
Yeah. Look, another excuse he has when it's always the time that I'm not feeling too great. Yes, obviously Friday again, I wasn't feeling great. And that's the day that we have takeout. The week before that was the same thing and I couldn't eat my food.
Moral of the story is stop having takeout.
All right.
Stop buying gifts.
And you
Stop wasting
from
money
now
on
I
gifts
shouldn't
as
be
well.
ill for you to make me something nice to eat. And also now you should know when it's Valentine's or whatever it is, what is it that she really wants? Like what would show that I've actually put some effort and thought into it.
I ask
wants
God
someone-
that all the time. I
wants-
just never get the answer.
She wants
God, what does she actually want that's going to make her happy? And God just looks at me and goes, you'll figure it out one day. I'm like, new husband probably.
Kenny, that's mean.
I'm just saying, because even with the flowers and chocolates, like you said,
I
you
do
looked
love
at it
them.
and you went, what did you waste money for? You know, I don't care about these kind of stuff.
No, I do love the flowers. I don't love the chocolates because I hate 3.
But I'm just wondering, do other people's, are all women like this? I'm not being in a bad way. I'm just saying, I went out and done that. And it was like, you know that, you shouldn't have wasted that money.
Not all
blah,
women.
Blah, blah. But then on top of that, any other time when you don't do it, oh, you know what? I'm not that kind. My husband's never romantic. He never just randomly just gets me flowers or chocolates.
It'd be
or
lovely if
anything
it was
like
a random day and you did it. Honestly, if it was a random
so
day.
if you do it on random days,
I
but
think-
you don't do it on Valentine's days
it's
or
not-
anniversaries,
It's nice.
then it's okay.
No, it's nice that you did it. I love them. I thought they were beautiful, especially because of one rose was actually just a different color out of all of them. Odd. It was in there. To me, it was just like, that was meant for me because it reminds me of me. Just,
Can I just say, if
Unique.
there's people out there who are in their 20s who are actually listening to our podcast right now in a relationship, the guy's probably gone, this guy's in his 40s and they've been married for 26 years. This guy's still trying to figure out, we ain't got no chance in hell.
Kenny, don't
to,
even.
like, sort this out.
It's beautiful that you brought me flowers, but I feel like that's an easy job that anyone can do. That's like you said.
Well-
Hold on, didn't you say that the other day? You went, oh, it's just a Valentine's just for the youngsters. Like, who does it? Like, no.
I still did it though.
Yeah, you did. But it was an easy thing to do, an easy option, isn't it? Just get some flowers. Like I'm saying, if you were to think, what would she really want? Just like you did with the necklace. And I even started crying with the necklace because I thought a lot of thought has gone into it. Anyone can get roses or flowers for anyone. And I think women, you should be, I want that relationship with you where you actually buy me flowers just randomly, not on a certain day. Where I don't expect it. Because yes, I did know that you're going to be standing somewhere hidden away with flowers in your hand.
I did have my clothes on though, guys. So don't worry.
Well, if you didn't, that would have been different. And
Well,
I would have
if
been
I
like,
did that
wow.
8 o'clock in the morning when I'm school run time, then my son would be shocked. So no, I wasn't going to do that.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's the thought that goes into stuff. So I wanted to cook
I
for
still
you.
thought, get up in the morning. Yeah, her thought was, you know what? I'm going to cook for him on Valentine's Day. I'm not well, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay, but
So
I cooked
went
for you the day that I did.
KFC.
2 or 3 days beforehand, I cooked for you, and I was getting kind of better. And honestly, guys, after a week or something of him eating whatever he's been eating, and
I had no choice.
I didn't really eat much,
I didn't complain though.
right? The day that I did cook, I really wanted to cook for him. This is me from the heart. Like I'm not better, but I can get on my feet now. So I thought I'd go in the kitchen and I brought him vegetable like sabji, which if you don't know is aubergine, and I wanted to cook a couple of meals. I thought
That's very good. I missed it.
So I made him a sabji and dal, and yes, I was getting on my feet and I was like, I can do this, and I was taking breaks in between it. So I've cooked him this meal, and I was like, oh, I hope it tastes nice, because I do get bored of my food, and I don't know, I try to change things up a little bit in the kitchen with everything I make, just because it just gets boring eating your own food. You know how you're going to cook it, spice it up. I know. So I've made it, and I swear it was so sweet. I put it all down. And by that time I was in a bit of pain again. I was like, oh, just eat slowly.
And I was irritated anyway, just to let you guys know, because I'm just saying, because I could see she was in pain. She didn't have to do it. and nor did I ask her to do it. I actually took out other food that I was going to cook. So I was going to cook again. But she did it. And each time I could see her and she was just in the kitchen.
Okay.
And it was just
I
making
want to
me
do
like...
it for you.
But
Because I could see you haven't eaten.
And
okay.
for me, was the priority was
fine.
get yourself better, because there's no point you being in bed for another week or so.
Okay, well, I just wanted to cook. And you know what? It was the most beautiful, I think, more than ever. Like, I know he likes my food, but I sat here and I was, uncomfortable a little bit. So I'm watching him put his first spoon or mouthful in his mouth. And the man had closed his eyes. And to watch him, he's like, honestly, I think he had his
was not over exaggerating, guys, or
his
anything
eyes
like
were
that.
closed for ages, and
it.
I felt like crying for him. I felt so bad that the poor guy, and he actually when he took the first bite and he ate, he was like, I feel like I've been deprived, or from food. And I was like, I felt so bad, like when you can't do the things you should be doing as well, like looking after. It wasn't just you as well.
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm sure there's women out there going, well, you should learn how to cook for himself. I can cook. It's just not the same. But the thing is, like I said, I've been cooking, and I've been a guy who's been a nutritionist and eating for getting in shape.
See, if it's okay if you can't cook either. You cook two different meals.
I'm just saying it. I know, but lots of women mention. That's what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is that I can look after myself and look after the kid. But the thing is, your food is actually, I enjoy it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's not just the food. It was like, because she was sleeping in the other room.
I put effort into my food.
There was, okay. I was going to say, missing her as well. So it wasn't like just the food. It was like, it felt weird.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, it did feel weird.
Well, not for 3. It's was like, thank God.
Yeah, but why are we tracking off there? We can talk about that in a bit. I'm talking about watching you eat my food was really like, oh my God, like I felt bad for you. Like, there's families out there who still, well, I think everyone does. When someone's ill in the house, they'll have family members to come and take over and supply food, or even a neighbor would come over. You have people who have people to help out. And in our times, we don't have that. So watching you, I was like, oh my God, this is really,
Step
really
up the
sad.
game each time.
It's really, really sad. And he was so enjoying his meal. But that's what I was going to say. I wasn't saying anything else. But yeah.
No. But I was going to say, it's also vice versa. It's like, all the jobs and things that I do. And that's what was happening with me. I was working hard there. And my thought was, damn, how it's not easy not having your partner there, or having that support, or, the things that we do to support each other. And, when you cook your food, or you have your energy and and everything else, or just around me kind of thing, I could get a lot of other things done, and I focus on it. But my mindset was also, damn, all the things that I do, if I couldn't for 2 weeks, how would she?
Yeah. It does make you think, and it's a shame that you shouldn't have to be ill to realize how much one or the other does. That was like a big eye opener, because it hasn't been like a week or a couple of days. It's been longer than that, and it's affected so much. Like, it wasn't just you with having to cook and having to take him to the doctors. Even with him, he was coming to me, what's there to eat? And normally I will go to different shops. I don't go to one shop for the groceries, because I have got kids who like things from different places, or like I've brought something, trialed it out, and they love it, and I won't get it from another place because now they like it from somewhere else. So I'm here, there, everywhere, in different grocery stores and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, have you been out?" Yeah, I'm like, "Baby, I'm unwell. Can you make me a tea?" Because, and you know what? I'm like, I always think to myself, "You're old enough, you can make your own tea," which is true. But you know what happened yesterday? As I was just cleaning up, I was getting stuff together for my daughter. I found a little note of his, and he's done 5 reasons, 5 facts about Mum, and one of them in there. Oh, I wanted to cry. She makes the best tea ever. Oh. And he was coming to me for tea, and I was like, "Baby, I can't do it." And sometimes I do, even when I'm well, I'm okay. I'm like, "Go and make it yourself."
Yeah.
Go and make it. I've done it. But
because he asks me, I do make it. I'm like a second resort.
Yeah.
He doesn't like mine.
Yeah, and then.
But it's like, you know what? If Mum's not going to make it, then can you make it?
Then with food as well, Mum, and I was like, "I'm really sorry, baby. I just can't get up and ask your dad." And you feel awful. So so it shouldn't you shouldn't have to think about those kind of things. It should be, and that's the thing, we don't appreciate each other. You don't appreciate one or the other. You just expect it because they're there and you're so used to it. And when no longer the other person is able to do something or another, it's just like, oh my
But
God, having to take everything on.
At the same time, with that happening, we've ended up making adjustments to our work and stuff.
Yeah.
Unexpected, had no choice, but it sort of, you had to get out the comfort zone. Well, certainly me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I guess sometimes things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we would have probably been able to cope with things a lot easier if we didn't have all that work going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I had to leave home for several hours to get the car, sorted. Then we had engineers come for about 4 days, 4 separate days. So I was part of there, trying to work over there, and then the 2 or 3 appointments that we had. So with all that was going on, it's like everything in 2 weeks came together.
Yeah, it always does though, isn't it?
And so when that happened,
when you
that's
want to
when
make
you have
changes, because we're thinking of making changes anyway. When we're thinking of making those changes, you have all these obstacles that come, and it is that kind of thing. Let's see how much you want it, I think.
Yeah, well,
we're stuck in there.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't, but we got through it. It was like punching.
Stuck in there. And there were some good things that came out of it. I'm going to start making him cook for me. Just here or there. Yeah. Or we're going to start cooking together, finding something different and making it. Because we do cook, but we always make the same thing all the time. So trying different and getting you into having different foods, because I'm sick of eating Indian food all the time.
And that's the other thing. How are everyone else, regarding food wise? I'm just wondering how other couples do it. Do they cook for each other all the time? And is there certain food they like or dislike? How is everyone else's?
Don't know. Well, all I know is that we're going to be finding recipes, but something different and making it together. And also, so it's having time out and having to think about these things. We should just do them anyway. Or the other thing was the good points. So that's one thing, is I actually got to watch some TV. Like, I know how to use a remote.
She finally learned how to use a remote.
I did.
And watch TV.
And I watched episodes after episodes of so many different things on Netflix.
Because normally, ask her, what do you want to watch? I don't know. And then I'll say, how about this? I'll put this on. I don't like that. Don't want to watch that.
No, but these are everything that you probably wouldn't have watched. So it was nice to have some time.
And it's very difficult to try to find a program or something, because each time I'm one of those, I know what things I would love to watch. And I put those aside to think of the things that, what would Sri like to watch? That might be good, even though I might not know.
Excuse-moi, not like last night. I come downstairs thinking, we'll finally spend some time together. No. Yeah, you always butt in. You love to butt in.
Sorry.
And then I forget what I want to say.
Go.
Right, I come downstairs, I've made him a meal, put it on the table, finally downstairs, I've been upstairs all day long.
I already had something on, sorry.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm going back to what you just said, that you always think of me or whatever else. No. So last night I came down, finally we haven't spent no time really together. Come down, make him a meal, and whatever he's watching, I don't know if it's Western, I don't know, it's really loud. I'm like, I can't.
John Wick 4?
I can't sit in here, my ears are going to pop.
John Wick. No, the thing is, again.
Right, so he's like, do you want to watch anything? I was like, I don't know.
I was watching John Wick 4. Because I had tried to help her out with her Instagram stuff for 2 hours, which wasn't the plan. I like to go for a walk, and then I like to relax, and then, whatever. Then I would have sat with Sri. But that didn't happen. 2 hours after I finished working, up until 7-something o'clock, I ended up trying to help her sort out something on Instagram. It took me 2 hours, which wasn't the plan. I was already about to step out. And so what ended up happening was, after that finished, I come downstairs and I thought, I just need some time out, because I knew all the work that I'm going to do the next day.
Which is fine. And this is where you be honest.
Stuck John Wick 4 on. I just put it on because I didn't want to look for anything or watch something that was,
Oh, we haven't spent time together. So you're sitting there and I've come down, finally put your food down.
We watched that rough night on Valentine's Day. Yeah, Friday, that finally, was. And so yesterday was Saturday. Felt like I was working even more.
But okay, first of all, I didn't ask you to help me, but it was nice that you did. But I just came downstairs, gave you food, and I thought, okay, you've been moaning about we haven't been together because I've been unwell or whatever. We've been working all day. Sit down. You've got this blasted. But then you wouldn't ask me if there's something I want to watch.
I did.
Yeah, why would you? When you know you want to continue. So the worst thing about it was, okay, so I thought, I can't sit here. It's so loud. It's hurting my ears. No. Let me speak, because you never let me speak. And it's so annoying. It actually is. It is very annoying when you butt in all the time. So I've gone up the stairs, and did you hear me? No, of course you didn't. Because I'm looking at you. Normally he hears everything. He has to come back about 1,000 times to say, hold on. No. Exactly. So you come back to me 1,000 times and I have to say something to you, or, you know, I'll look at you in a certain way, whatever else not. What's wrong? What's your problem? I've walked out. So I've walked, I've stood at him, I've glared at him for ages, and he's just looking at the TV. So he knows that she's picked up her food. She's made him food, picked up her food, and she's walked around him thinking I was going to spend some time with you before I go to bed, and he's just ignored me. Any other time, if I look at him in a certain way, what's wrong? And he'll come back and forth, back and forth. He did not want to. He acted like I was it was invisible, but I had to walk past him. Walked out, shut the door, slammed the door, didn't say anything. No, me, but what's your problem? What's going on? You're slamming the door. I've gone up the stairs, and I'm like, you're just a joker. You're so annoying. I said that so loud.
My son probably thought it was to him.
He probably thought, what's going on now? And then I slammed the door that I was in because I thought I want to spend time with you. But like, you got this stupid movie on, it's so high. Have it on, but why is it so loud? It's hurting my ears. I want to eat the food together with you again that I've cooked with you.
Okay.
The last time I was unwell, and I made all that nice food. Sorry, you're not nice. You're not nice. That is not nice. You could have watched
John Wick 4
So anyway,
with me.
I've learned to use a remote because all the time, all these years, I've just been a mom. My job's cooking, and when it's time to relax and watch something, you don't even know.
Teletubbies.
Yeah, you don't even know what to watch because you watch your kids' programs growing up, right? You get out to what's in, what's out, like because it's just life just takes over. You don't even know what music's trending or what you like anymore. It's not about you anymore. It's about the kids and it's about whatever you got to do as a mother, right? And don't know how to use a remote. So finally, yeah, I've watched things after things, and I'm like, some of the things were just in the background whilst I was still working or trying to do things or figure out stuff. But it was just like, I shouldn't be. What the hell? Why have I given up on my life? Like, what the hell? I don't know. Like, you know, all these years, like you'd ask me, what do you want to watch? I don't know. Just stick something on. These are the kind of things I like, the genres, you know, where it was just nice to just stick something. If I didn't like it, I didn't like it. And it's the fact that I had to be ill to do that. And yeah, just like little things like that. Like, shit, it's annoying. It's annoying that exactly that you don't do for yourself. You've always put others first, and it's quite sad. But anyway, I watched some series, and it's a very old one. And there was something in this series that I saw, and I just thought it was something good to talk about because obviously the other day you were saying someone reached out to you as well. A lot of people are reaching out to us about various things and stuff, whether it's weddings, this, that, the other. There was someone who reached out to me asking advice, getting married, and obviously trying to figure out how do we balance this because the partner wants something else and they want something else. I haven't spoken to you about this, actually. It was on Instagram. Like, yeah, she wants just a certain wedding and he wants something else, and how do we come to a compromise? How do I speak to him about it? And I was like, God, there's so many, like when we got married, we just got married, and I think people do back in the days, even then when people were getting married, not just about us, there was no trends. I don't think there were they trends or things that you follow? You just went along with what was norm.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing that people know now what they want for the weddings. But do people actually know what they want for the weddings? Or are they just seeing other people and they think, you know what, that's trendy, or I like that, I want it, but don't really want it because someone else has done it, that they copy and stuff? Why I'm saying this is because in this series I was watching, there's this, I thought it was just lovely, like this Asian guy, he's with a white girl, and he wants to propose to her. And I just thought, the thought and detail that he put into it.
Right.
Yeah. And that's again, when I say about flowers for Valentine's Day, I think like everyone does that. It's just, you know, it'd be nice if you did it on a random day, to be honest, because it's just a thought you've gone out there, not just because on Valentine's. It'd be nice if you just thought the 14, like you did with the necklace, what would she really want? Yeah. It'd be nice to cook together, that we're doing it together. That would have been nice for Valentine's. We're doing something, cooking a different dish that we've not done together. It's something we remember. But anyway, the thought that he put into him proposing to her, I thought was so beautiful, and it was just so simple as well. Like, he wants to propose. Firstly, he remembered that they like movies.
Right.
She liked movies when they got together. They must have watched a movie or something. And you know when you have I don't know what it's called, when you pull up in a car and you can watch it on big screen.
Yeah, great.
But he did it in his garage. So he's a mechanic.
Right.
And he's done up his whole this car that needs doing up and stuff. And he's like put lights on the outside. He's brought popcorn as well because she loves popcorn. He's even brought chips, like fat chips, because she likes that normal chippy chop fish and chips. Yeah,
Chippy chop.
Chips from
Chippy
the
chop.
from the shop. Yeah,
From the chippy chop.
From the chippy shop. And he's put them in like a like the popcorn containers and stuff. And I just thought it was really, really cute. So he's got blankets in the back, and they've watched her favorite movie, which was East is East. And I love that. And it's just so beautiful. First, that was it. He did that. And then the following day, he goes, I got another surprise for you. I want you to meet me. He left her a note.
Right.
So they work together in the garage. He left her a note in the garage because he wasn't there. She's like, where the hell's he? And she sees his note. And she goes to the park and she's like, what is this about? And she's just normal. She's in that big coat that my daughter doesn't like, what we've got together, the same coat where you go for walks. Mm-hmm. She imagine her
it's like a duvet.
It's like a duvet. It is. It's like
one of those, I think
like a black bag big bin liner, those padded kind of coats, walking coats. So she's with just in one of those going to work, and obviously sees his letter, and then she's gone to the park and she doesn't know what to expect, and he's just walking around with her, just talking to her. He was just like, I just thought it'd be nice for me and you make some time together. She didn't have an idea at all, and she thought to her that was just lovely, her, because she doesn't do that normally. They're just working, getting on with life. They don't go for walks in the park, whatever. And from the park it led to this little restaurant, which was probably closed, or because it was so cold. The back area where you've got like I don't know, like a balcony area, just a normal pub. And they're having a meal outside, like he's putting a glass of wine and everything else out. So they've gone to a pub now from there. So it's all recorded. Obviously, it's a series.
There's got to be a good ending to this.
Yeah, but
because otherwise you're just dragging me and you're going to bother her. If someone ain't going to get shot or something.
Sure, I just thought it was so sweet because they
won the lottery.
They didn't have to
this
think
is just
about
like one long boring story.
They didn't have to think about outfits or what they've got to wear. He didn't go into like all of that kind of thing. She's just in a normal coat. He's in his normal coat. They're having dinner outside, and all of a sudden he goes, "This is not all of it." She just thought that's lovely. He wants to spend time with me. This is really sweet. Thank you. This is just enough. Beautiful meal. And he goes, not it. He goes, like you've been asking. He goes, your favorite car. You've always wanted a car. I really wanted to get you one. And she goes, yeah. And he hands her a box with keys, and she's like, what? And he goes, no, in a box. It had a little remote control in it.
Okay.
And she's like, what? And then he gets a remote control, starts using it, and the little car comes up because she really wanted an Audi or something like that. There's a car she really wanted, but a small little car comes out of nowhere, and on top of it is a box and the ring, basically. And she thought she was gonna get a car, and he was like, proposed to her with the ring, with the car that he wanted. It would have
been funny if she turned around and went, shit, I would have preferred the car.
I just thought it was, it would have been, but she was just like overwhelmed and everything, not expecting, because this is the little details of cars. He goes, I know you've always wanted this car, but I promise you, I'm going to get it you. Like, I will get you one. This has actually cost me, obviously, I thought it was a bit more than the car that his ring has. And I just thought it was so nice that the details that he went to, the stroll, it's just normal.
See,
and now people, I was like,
it's not just people though. It's like now, if I did that, if I put a note and said, meet me at the park.
To me, that would be like shocking. Like, what? Because it's something you would never do.
And meet me at the park, right? I would be there for about 5 hours waiting for you to get ready and come. You would not just put that jacket on and just turn up and go, what you got in store? And you'll be like, what? Flipping freezing here. What the heck have you called me out here for? We're going to be walking. Oh, flipping. Now I'm going back home.
You're such a liar.
It'll be like that. But it'll take you about 4 to 5 hours to get ready before you even get out.
Excuse me. Can you please take that back? Do I take that long to get ready?
Okay, 2 hours.
Kenny, you're really annoying.
Okay, you wouldn't have just put a jacket on and just turned up. You wouldn't.
Well, if it was cold.
No, I just mean even now she put that jacket on.
She was still would have. She didn't expect it.
Okay.
So if I didn't expect him, you just sent me a note and I'm already ready. I'll stick my coat on and come and see you. Okay. Or like you've told me to come somewhere.
I'm just saying.
I just thought it was beautiful. And why I'm talking about it is because it was just so...
Yeah, why are you talking about it?
Because these days that people go to the extent of having to fly abroad or have to... just proposing like is a big thing. You have to have it all perfect. And most of the time, these marriages don't even last.
Well, you cannot not do it just because it might not last.
Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but to the extent that people go to. I don't know if white people do it, but I know Indian people will go abroad and have these photo shoots in like the fields and stuff, like a Bollywood thing.
We've spoken about that many times. But I've seen an Indian couple who are from India, who are actually follow me on Instagram, seem really lovely. they actually posted, like, basically, we decided not to spend our money on the wedding. Yeah, and both of them, like, they weren't content creators then. They thought, okay, we want to be together, we want to get married, but the money that's supposed to go to our wedding that they were going to pay, let's go basically travel.
I think that's
3 or 4 times in the year. Not just them, but like, if we could travel about 3 or 4 times, not expensive, extravagant, but on a budget. But you put that money towards creating memories together.
Yeah.
So they had this normal, simple wedding. I think it was a registered wedding, and they called the closest of people. But then they went traveling. I think they ended up going on budget holidays whilst they were working, obviously. So they'll come back, work, make some money, and whatever they had saved. I think they went on about 4 to 5 holidays during that year. But as they were going on those holidays, they were posting that, that they're traveling and stuff like that. And whilst that was happening, companies started contacting them and going, like, and they started doing their work remotely as well whilst they were on holiday. And they left the work that they were doing, and now they've become travel, content creators. But they're helping other people how to also do what they did. But what they basically still say is that instead of putting all that money that they want for one day to feed so many people, they just thought, why not create those memories with that money?
Exactly.
And they're quite a young couple. They're probably in their early 20s. But now, in the past 2 or 3 years, all they're doing is they actually sold their apartment, and they're staying in Bali at the moment, but they just staying place to place, different countries, and they're working remotely. And this has become their world and their life, just because they thought, let's put that money towards something else.
Yeah. They actually took time to think about what they really, really want. And I don't think people do that, because you do see people just, this was saying trend, they copy, they see what's out there. Do they?
We say it all the time. It's also, what is it that would make other people happy? Our family, society, community, or trying to be better than the other people in our family, what they did, and let's see if we can top it. It's always that. Maybe it is. This part of it is that, our families raised us and they've been there, and we want to make sure it's also important for them.
Or you've seen Joe Blogs down the corner who's done the same thing. Or
someone else has done it and we want to do it. Or it is still that people-pleasing thing.
Even if you haven't got the money.
Even if you haven't got the money, you know what, even if we have to struggle, long as we did what everyone else has done, and then, and it doesn't matter about anything else. Instead of going, okay, what do we want? Honestly, we didn't have to think about anyone else, or if our family turned around and said, look, don't think about us.
Exactly.
Don't think about us. Honestly, we'll be happy for you no matter what. We want you to be happy. Parents or family members can say, we just want you to be happy.
Yeah.
What is it that you want? And then you go in. I mean, I understand if you go, well, I'm not too fussed. I'm not bothered. I'd rather have what, like this. But many times it's just like, more or less, parents don't say that, and children never say this is what they want isn't usually what they want. Like a guy many times will turn around and go, I want to do whatever my parents want. Or a girl will turn around and say, I know what I want. I want this. And then he'll say, I'll do whatever you want. Instead of going...
I know as you grow older as well, your feelings change of what you wanted when you were younger to whatever. But when it's at that point of marriage and stuff, I feel people don't actually sit back. Like you said, what is it that we want? We're not looking at everything else outside, what people have done. Yeah. What would we want? What would make it special for us? And I just thought that them too, the way that he proposed to her, it wasn't like this huge thing that you didn't have to go and have a photo shoot. You didn't have to do all of that. Now, this morning I was on Instagram, because obviously still trying to look at, as it's sorted out.
Will every woman be happy with that? They're not, though. In this world, if you go on social media now, you also see so many, it's like, well, they ain't good enough.
So you don't think how much pressure it is on a guy as well, do you?
Yeah, but this isn't good enough. And she'll have friends who turn around and say, what? He just took you to the park, and then he had this remote control car come into the restaurant with a ring on top of it. Oh, wow, romantic that is. If he said that to me, then I would have walked straight out of there and said, ain't happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's that pressure. You have that, even though these girls sometimes don't even be married but they just going, this is what I would want. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's thinking.
That's what I mean.
You need to be able to, again, know who you are and be happy with who you are, to be able to go, okay, that's you. Me, I found it sweet.
Yeah.
it made me happy.
Honestly,
And I think it's that.
Yeah, I was looking, like I said, you were talking about Instagram earlier that you were trying to fix and stuff. So this morning when I was on it, just seeing again, something popped up, like a photographer that I've known years and years ago. And I was just scrolling on the page. I was like, shit, even on there was 2 weddings on there that are no longer, they obviously had a divorce. And the extent that the photos were up on this page, you see, like the amount that they must spend, you know, having to go abroad or going at a certain sunset to get these perfect pictures and blah blah blah. I don't know. I just think to myself, you know, I don't know. It's just like, it just got me thinking all sorts of things.
I think it's not just about weddings. I think it's about everything. It's like now we live in quite a large house, and obviously we had to originally because we had there were 6 of us. But now with the girls gone and stuff like that, I look at it and going, well, what is the point of having such a big house?
Yeah.
I
feel like we live in a flat.
Part of you feels like, you know, your mindset is, and it's weird, isn't it? Because it's not people pleasing, because it's not, you know, but sometimes it's about status. You look at yourself and you're going, well, I live in a big house. It makes me feel like I've achieved something.
Yeah.
Do you know? And if I now downsize, it might look like, well, you know, I'm not manifesting, or I'm not looking at something more, like, you know, I'm just like I'm going backwards, not going forwards.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah. It's this battle with the head.
I think again, it's just Indian people who think like that, because if you think about it, white people, when their kids have moved on, everyone that I've known have downsized.
At the moment, my head is in this like battle, because I keep on going, because the girls ain't gonna come, but sort of like back. I mean, they'll come to visit or stay or whatever, but they ain't gonna be living there forever. Yeah. And we don't need, I mean, our house is like cold, and it's only us. And
I was saying, it feels like we live in a flat. We live upstairs, really. We don't come down unless we're in the kitchen.
We hardly come inside it. We could be living in an apartment. That's a 3-bedroom apartment.
I'd love that.
Living in. And the thing is, it's like, why are we living in such a big house, paying so much for like council tax, so much on bills and stuff like that, just for the sake of it, feeling like, wow, we got a 4-bedroom house or 5-bedroom house.
But I don't think we feel like that, though, do we?
You know, no, we don't.
We're
like
not
that.
the kind of people who think either, like, oh my God.
But at the same time, the mindset is that, you know, if we're selling this and we're moving out, which we want to do, you start still thinking, should I get a similar size house? Just, you know, because it might look nicer than a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's silly, because like you just said about wedding, why do people have these big extravagant weddings and go over the top when, you know what, there's other things that could be more meaningful and important. And it's the same thing with a house. Why do you need a massive car or a massive house? Why? Well, what is it making you feel like you need it? Majority of the time, it is to feel like I'm someone or I've achieved something. It's status. So it makes me feel like, you know, look at everything that I started from this, I had that, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're holding on to that more.
Yeah.
Whereas I know for a fact that if you and I downsize now, like I said, you know, back in the days, you know, we lived in a 2-bedroom house. I think you did as well. Your first house.
2-bedroom house.
But the thing is, there's about 6 to 8 people, and you have other family members. Everyone still made it. Yeah. But I'm just mean, even like now, we could have
stayed warmer with everyone in there.
We can have a decent 3-bedroom house in a nice area, and, you know, after selling what we've got, and live more comfortably. Bills will be a lot cheaper, house will be a lot warmer, and, you know, pick a house that we want. Yeah. But at the same time, we'll probably have so much money that is also saved that we're sorted. You know, we don't have to worry about things.
Yeah.
But
it wouldn't be the nonsense that people would think, shit, we're downsizing. We wouldn't think like, I don't care what anyone thinks.
No,
so
but I know, but
people do.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm not just saying other people. I've been in this battle. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I've been in this constant battle of, you know what, why do we need such a big house?
I remember when you used to say, when we brought this one, oh my God, we got such a big garden, we put a tent down there and get so married. And I'm like,
but when I was younger, I knew what house I wanted, and this is the house kind of thing. And that's even my daughter said, I knew what car I wanted, knew what house I wanted, knew what kind of wife I wanted.
So you got what you wanted, but now...
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm still waiting for her.
You
know what I mean? No, but
you didn't want an Indian wife?
No, I didn't. I actually thought I would be with someone who's white.
And what do you think? You got just that?
Indian? And that's the thing. Yeah, and it wasn't to do with, oh my gosh, you know... I wasn't a guy who like, oh, white women are more beautiful.
You dated a lot of Indian women. You just knew it wasn't for you.
I just didn't like the fact of I couldn't be stuck in a certain way of being.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
How mad is that?
Everything. But street, like, like now, you're Indian, but you're not like that. You're actually, if I was to be around you, you're like going, even like now, we say we don't fit in there. We don't fit in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't fit in this and we don't fit in there, but we are ourselves. And I think that's the thing, because the majority of the time people tend to box you in this thing.
Yeah.
And you're trying to go, which... Are you guys like this, or are you guys fit into that culture, or fit into this? And
my
we're like
God.
going, no,
they do try to box you. Even this morning, this
we're us.
annoying person just keeps writing on my TikTok. He labels me as being a certain culture. I'm like, how can you don't even know me?
Yeah.
Each time, even this morning, he's wrote it again. Like, what's wrong with
and,
you?
And I don't like that. And then sometimes we're trying to justify that, we're not part of that, or we are part of this, and we're us. It's just like we live the way that we are. Anything. But again, it's just like, even now, I've been, like I said, everything I've always wanted, I sort of manifested. Yeah. And even now my daughter says, Dad, anything that you want, you've always had it, and you're going to achieve it. But here in my head, my battle has been recently, because we are thinking of moving and we will be moving. Do I get another, similar size house in a nicer and better area, or should I actually downsize? And then, your mindset with mine is like, am I asking for less? Do you know what I mean?
It's not though. It's not less.
It's weird though. Am I going backwards?
Yeah.
When I should be going, improvement sometimes usually means more, doesn't it?
But you can have more money, of everything else.
Bigger car, nicer house, bigger house. But it's to me, it's like going, oh my God, I'm trying to say to myself, you know what? You don't need it. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
And not only that, the amount of stuff that you can actually end up doing with your life.
It's that.
And not only that,
look at our position at the moment. We have this huge house.
And why do you need it when we got this huge house and it's empty?
Like I said, we live upstairs. It feels like we live in an apartment, because we don't come downstairs. No one does. 2 huge rooms downstairs, and it's like, why?
Yeah. And we'll still have
and
enough
back
room.
in the days,
we'll still have enough room for the 3 of us,
nice,
and then anyone else who comes.
Yeah, back in the days when people when they did get together, was there a problem of having small house? And everyone still managed to be in that one house, didn't they?
I think we've look, even like now doing this podcast, see, there's things that we trying to still discover about ourselves. Why are we acting in the way that we are? Why do we sometimes want certain things for?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And even like now, I'm honest, like you just said, we would be all right. And I'm going, yeah, you're saying we would be all right. I'm saying I've been in this battle in my head. I've still been looking for 4 and 5 bedroom houses. When I'm like looking at them going, what do I need it for?
Yeah. If you knew 100% your daughters are going to come back home and they're going to live with you or whatever else.
But that ain't the case.
And not
only that,
why do we need these empty rooms?
We raised them to be independent. That's how we've always wanted them to be. Not oh God, they're going to... Again, it's not the typical way of, well, what did you expect? You got daughters, they're going to get married and live with someone's house. Yeah. No, we didn't do it like that. Yeah. Even now, we're not there going, we raise our kids, our daughters, that they will be married and living with their partner. We raised our daughters to be able to look after themselves independently, get their own houses or whatever. But when they do move in, marry, or choose to marry, if they decide to, with their partner, then so be it.
Yeah.
So we're not there going, oh God, because there's sometimes people think, well, daughters will leave anyway, they get married.
Yeah.
No, so we haven't raised them that was the intention.
Yeah.
No, they can look after themselves. If they choose to get married, fine. If they don't choose to get married, that's entirely up to them as well.
Yeah,
that's their life and their thing.
It makes you think of so many people who have like...
And the same with our son. If we're raising him to be independent, so he doesn't have to depend and rely on us, that, in the future, if he wants to live in the house, then he can. But if he doesn't and he wants to choose to get his own place and move out and stand on his own 2 feet and whatever, then I'm hoping that he's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
I want him to do that.
Yeah. You want that, and I look at a lot of people that we have known, like, have extended the house just because either their son's going to be staying with them or whatever. But you realise later they leave as like want their own space, especially in this day and age.
I mean,
kids
you
do,
just
and then
gotta
you're
look
left
at
with
it
this
like this.
huge house. Why?
I just feel like you got to look at it as home, parents' home is the mothership. Do you know what I mean? And the mothership just stays in this one place kind of thing. You're like you're seeing movies kind of thing. And then those other ships go and do whatever and travel and do what. They can always come back to the mothership.
Yeah.
But,
The mothership doesn't always have to be so big that they can't come back.
But it doesn't have to be so big. You can adjust and you can cater.
Yeah.
And if anything, you know what I mean? Because again, what you're trying to create is that everyone has to always come back, or this is, you're not letting, like birds or animals, you're not letting them fly, grow and get out. Whereas what you're trying to do is more or less still trying to manifest that I've got this place, and sooner or later, you know what? When shit hits the fan and bad things happen, they've got to come back to stay and be here. And you're like going, wow, you were expecting that?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm there going, I want them to come back and visit whenever they want, stay as long as they want, but to be able to look after themselves.
We know that are people who've done
and
that,
have their own life,
extended homes, just because they want the kids to stay, or they've actually had rooms made so well that their daughters come back all the time and stay here, and that caused lots of problems as well. Do you know what I mean?
Lots of problems having to do. But the thing is, it's just more or less, guys, everyone just needs to know that their life is, I mean, if you're a person who's like,
I think that's what I like about the English culture, though, Steve, because they do, as soon as the kids move on, they do all downsize. You know, not everyone, but I know a lot of people that have. Like, what's the point of having this huge house now, no longer, you know, for us? The kids come and go.
I mean, if you load it as
then
and
fine.
you've got all this money and this wealth, and you've got, you know, your house is all paid for, and you couldn't give
But
them
then, do you
monkeys.
think you would be? I don't think I would be. Like, we don't even want to come downstairs.
No, even now.
I think it depends on the country as well.
And again, it's like this two youngsters, I'm saying youngsters, they're in their 20s, obviously, this married couple. You know what? I find them inspiring. See, and it's weird. Like, you know, we're in our 40s, our kids are all grown up who are in their 20s, but I find them so inspiring. I'm going, you know what? I would have loved to have done that. And I'm not saying, okay, now I can't turn back time. They sold their apartment. They didn't waste money on their weddings. The money that the two husband and wife are making, and you should see them on the social media, they actually look genuinely happy. And I know sometimes social media can be fake and stuff like that, but they're traveling around, they're doing things, and you just like look at it and you're going, you know, they've got nothing to, you know, sort of hold them down, ground them. I mean, why do you want to have a house that's £500,000-600,000 house, and you've got all that money invested into it, but yet you're not doing certain things? You look at it and you go, you can't take it with you.
No.
So what are you doing with that? Yeah, it's a great investment, fantastic, be a great investment if you can take it with you, but and that isn't happening. So why? I mean, even like now, you could stay in a place, or, you know, and use that money to actually live your life, do the things that you're saying that you would love to do. You know, you're traveling around different places, filming and creating content, if that is what you're doing. Or even the people now who work from home, you could probably work remotely from anywhere. So why are people all stuck in one place? You know, instead of exploring and living. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, life is more than just a wedding, a house, a car. That's how I see it. I see it like, and I wish that when I was younger, I was looking at it like more like that. You know, why is that I want to do and we can do? You know, explore, do things, see things, instead of going, this is the way that everyone needs to do things. It's that normal thing of you get married, you get a house, you get a car, you have kids, you know, you raise them, then you have grandkids, and, you know, you get a job and you keep doing it for 20, 30 years until you're dead. That's basically everyone's script. And the only difference is their partners are different, their kids are different, their house sizes or whatever are different, and their jobs are different. But otherwise, the script is the same. It's the blueprint. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on the culture or the color or country. It seems like it is. But then there's those other people who just go, I don't want to follow that script or that blueprint. You know, I don't want to do that, just that wedding or just that house or just that car or, you know, that. I want to see more of life. I want to live a different way. And then they find someone who actually thinks the same way.
Yeah,
Some people do it by themselves and some people do it together.
And that's about what we've had with everything, like, the blueprint, whether it's culture, whether it's just being ourselves, being able to be who we are, like, it's been a hard thing to do. So even like with weddings and traditions and homes that you're saying,
and even
it's not
YouTube,
always,
even the job that we're doing. I mean, everyone looks and going, why would you leave a secure job, 20-year job, being a police officer to do something like this? And he's like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? You're person in your 40s.
If you
your
prefer
kids,
people,
you got family, and you're doing
do,
something like this, and I'm like going, don't care.
Some people are happy having other people ordering them about.
And even now, like I said, but not just the blueprint. Your mindset is always like that. Ours, you've got to like change it. It's like now this battle of like, I've been looking for houses that are similar size or bigger than what we got, and yet we sit here and I know I'm repeating it, but you're there going, why do I need that? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And we could have so much more easier and life, and and we could probably do a lot more. So it's those kind of things that sometimes everything is about still you're growing, you're seeing, like you said, the program that you saw, and you're seeing what they're doing, and I'm looking at people who are on social media, what they're doing, people that are younger than us, and the things that you can still learn the older you get. And I'm hoping that I'm still like this when I'm 60, when I'm 80, you know what I mean, when I'm 50, that I'm still looking at people older than me, younger than me, and going, what can I change? How can I improve my life? How can I improve my relationships? What can I do differently? Not be doing like, what everyone else is doing. That. So anyway, guys, it was just like more or less, I think today's podcast was us two just coming back and trying to get back into the rhythm of things since, obviously, like I said, Street wasn't well, and there's changes happen. I'm sure in the other podcast we'll probably start opening up about those changes, things that we're trying to do differently and new, and things that, like I said, even now, talking, even in front of you guys or together, having that space, we haven't been able to discuss stuff or talk deeply of what we're doing and why.
No.
So even though we tell people that you should be trying to make time, but
it's just this whole 2 weeks have been very hectic for us.
So everything is a learning curve, and everything you've got to keep on trying to communicate and grow and make things better, and that's what we're trying to do. We don't like to be stuck in where we are. It's like, okay, we're stuck. How are we going to change this?
Steve's going to start cooking for me. That's one thing. Or we're going to cook together. Steve's going to start surprising me instead of just doing it on the days that he thinks they should be done. And we're going to cook together, right? We're going to start discussing more without you. You've obviously probably wasted a lot of time looking at certain houses and stuff.
And the next podcast is also going to be something else that we discuss, because I was there trying to tell Sri that more or less it's not easy to do things without you, and I like you around. And you know what I mean? You haven't been around, and lying in bed by yourself and you not being there, it is not comfortable and it's not nice, because you're always present. We've been together for 26 years, and I couldn't actually even say that. I was trying to say it, and she's like going, why can't you just say it?
It really annoyed me.
And she's like going, we're always open and honest about stuff, but there's some things I said it's still not,
it's really bad.
Like, it should be easy.
So
I don't know why.
This was
but no, we're not going to go into this stuff, because otherwise it's going to
you can remember the day.
Well, I'm hoping so, but again, I think the next podcast could be about, even as, I don't know if other men are like that, but as men, we feel things, we want to say things,
punch you in the face,
and if we can communicate it better, then
we would save all these arguments and problems that we have.
Instead of like going, oh my god, you know what, I was saying things and it was irritating her, but what I wanted to say was, oh my god, you know what, I want you back in our room, in our bed, and and you're not around. I need you around. It's not the same. And he's like going, yeah, I'm fine, you know what I mean, but you. And he's like more or less like looking at it and going,
I find
you don't care. You don't care. You just sleep in that room, and you're enjoying this now, just putting on whatever channel and doing whatever, and you're not even bothered about me.
Honestly.
And so it's like that.
You see, even after 26 years, I still haven't sorted him out. Like being able to be just open and speak and how you feel. Us women appreciate that so much more. I mean, where does he get you? I just don't understand, because it turns into a whole argument.
But anyway, that could be in next podcast if we remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, just glad to be back and glad that she's back so we can finally start talking and irritating each other. I mean, I have no one to irritate. It was just really bad. I had to feel sorry that because she was ill, I had to be careful. It's not good.
With what you say.
You know what I mean?
still
What
said
I do.
things which were annoying.
But now that she's back, I could get back to be me and irritating.
I'm going to go back into the other room and sleep in the other room again. And you ain't going to have these nice, cozy sleeps because apparently that was the only night
my God,
slept.
you know what? As soon as she came back and slept in bed, I've been getting up about 3 or 4 times each and every night. And bed's cold and I keep on like
trying to
touching
find
and she's
me.
not there. I even put a pillow there. It doesn't do the same thing. Damn. Should get one of those blow up dolls.
Just the thought of that.
Anyway, yeah, so it was like basically like that. And then the day that she came back into the room, oh my God, I got up, I think it was just once at night. And yesterday I didn't get up at all. And I was like, oh my God, look at how different my sleep is when you're in the bed.
For weeks on end, all I've heard him say is I've been getting up, I don't know what's going on. Is it my food? Is it I'm eating this? Is it because I had a bit to drink last night? Or why am I getting up? And the last 2 nights he hasn't. But people
I
are going
just
to think
miss my wife, that's all it was.
people are going to think we've had a big argument that I've been sleeping in the other room.
No.
But I can sleep anyway. You put me in.
See, it's
not
just me.
anywhere.
I miss her. I'm the one who actually, she just like going, couldn't give monkeys. I was sleeping fine.
No, it wasn't that.
Yeah,
you didn't
just
ask. See,
forget it.
again, communication. Men don't have to. You could have just said, I just really want you back in the bed.
Yeah, but the thing is, I also wanted you to want to come back into the bed.
Well, I did.
Not just come because...
I thought I'd get better.
And part of me was like thinking, she's all right, she is. She couldn't give a monkey.
Why
she
didn't
can't.
you just say that?
You know
I
what
just
I mean?
wanted you to get better. And I'm me not irritating you and getting up at night all the time.
Well, anyway, we're going to end the podcast here.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for coming. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, depending on what, you're watching us or listening to us, Spotify or YouTube.
Yeah.
Links are in the description below. Follow us on whatever. Write to us about certain things that you guys want to know or things that we can share with you guys.
Or what you found interested in this episode. What was it that you took away from here? And
And hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.